Hello and welcome back to Life by Design. Karyn here of healingandbloom.com. And I hope that you've been making the most of this time as we go through this global shift, everything that's been happening in our world, in our nation, in our cities, communities, and in our homes. I want to focus on the self today and the positive triggers that we can create as we go through times of uncertainty and times of transition that we never imagined possible. In this time where we are closed within our homes for long periods of time with the same people, and if you're sensitive like me and you like your alone time, that creates a whole other challenge, but that's not my focus today. My focus is what is that deeper part of you that is experiencing these changes, and what does that mean for you? So in this time of stillness and transition, it doesn't stop with what's going on outside. We actually have in every moment, in every day, the power to create from within. That is where the true changes begin. So what you're doing right now is going to set you up to step into that reality once all of this is done and over with. Who is that person that you have always wanted to be? What is that dream that you've always wanted to realize? This is the time when we are faced with ourselves, our past hurts, our past failures, our past victories, our personalities, our behaviors. This is the time to deconstruct and rebuild those parts of us that have dissolved, that no longer make sense in this current time and space, and most certainly will need to change in order for us to step out into the world once again when all of this is over as the person that we want to be, both literally as we step out and figuratively, most of all. What is that energy, the embodiment? What is that purpose to fulfill that perhaps you've been holding back on? This is the time to reevaluate and to restructure from within to support that greater reality, that seed within you that you were born with and that you know is there. It's the part of you that continues to get louder. It's the part of you that whispers to you in your dreams or in those quiet moments. So because we have this time and we have this stillness, it may feel uncomfortable and unsettling as things change and even as they remain the same. So no matter what your circumstances are, most likely you've been in a circumstance that you didn't plan for at the beginning of 2020. But every experience like this, where we are challenged to stretch into those places where we never expected, are the best moments of transition. And so I wanted to share with you some ways to create positive triggers for yourself to reset your energy from within, so that you can have a sense of peace, a sense of grounding, and a sense of truth and purpose within yourself. And also to be able to feel those higher frequencies of authenticity, of truth, of power, purpose, gratitude. So as you go throughout your day and you're noticing that you may feel unsettled or you may feel a little lost, that's okay. I think we've all had a version of that in these past few weeks, and there may be more iterations of that in the weeks to come. And creating these positive triggers will simply give you practical ways to tap into those higher frequencies. And as you do that, no matter what it is that you're doing, whether you're working, whether you're relaxing, whether you're spending time with your family, it sets you up to be able to be in that more healthy exchange of energy as you do things a little bit differently. So I want to give you a couple of examples. When I work in my office typically, and that whole environment has kind of changed because my husband's home and my kids are home, and my office doesn't have a door that I can actually close. So we've made some adjustments there. And to help kind of enclose that space energetically, I light a candle. And what's interesting is I've lit a certain candle of a certain fragrance, and for some reason it no longer feels right. It no longer smells the same to me because something has shifted. And so I actually bought some new candles online, and as I lit that candle, it felt new. The space felt different. And so something as simple as that, with the intention to create a space either within or around you, is going to really help you. So oftentimes people think of triggers as negative. I want to give you the flip side of that and show you that triggers can be very positive. And in NLP, we call them resource anchors. Even before I learned NLP, I was using positive anchors to get myself into a certain mindset. And that's what I want you to open up to in the next week or so. Check in with yourself on some of the positive triggers that you already have. These might look like rituals. They might look like routines that you have. Check in and see if something has shifted. And if so, just kind of listen. Listen to what your intuition is telling you. You know, it's not always something that you're going to hear outside of yourself, but really listen to and feel into what feels right now. Now, something that's kind of silly, which has been a positive trigger for me as I work with my clients in my office, and it's kind of been a constant, is my water bottle. It is always in the same place, on the same side of my desk, and it's the same water bottle. It's very simple, but to me, when I start my day with a full glass of nice, cool water in my water bottle, for some reason, it helps me to feel peaceful. Every time I hold it in my hand and I pick it up and I take a sip of water, it just reinforces that feeling of peace and comfort. So something as simple as that sets you up to be in the energy of grounding or happiness or peace or whatever you choose it to be. Be creative, start tuning into what that might be. If you are very sensitive to fragrance and that has a positive effect for you, start playing around with fragrance and see how that feels, see how that affects your emotions, your mood, your motivation. And this is a time where it's really, really important for you to have some positive triggers to really anchor you as everything around you seems to be shifting and changing and even dissolving right before your eyes. You may find that your triggers have changed, and that's okay, but sometimes you're going to find that, gosh, I haven't really lit that candle, or I haven't really, used that crystal in a while, or maybe that crystal isn't quite feeling right to me anymore. Make these things a priority in the next week so that you can start to regain a sense of grounding within yourself. And I guarantee you, you're going to start to feel better. You're going to start to feel lighter. And that will set you up to be more in alignment with those deeper parts of yourself that are positive and are ready to come to the surface. It just creates that environment within you to help bring that forth. No matter what's been going on outside, it is truly what you choose to focus on, what you choose to change, that which you can change. And those changes start with you. And if you've been feeling those nudges within to tackle some of those deeper aspects that maybe you've been struggling with or holding back on for quite some time, I invite you to book a call with me. The information is below, and we can talk about what it is that you feel is holding you back and what it is that you would like to create. Because I guarantee you, you absolutely can. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next week on Life by Design. Take care.